Sup, creeps, and welcome to Creepy Confidential. Is Mothman really a supernatural force predicting impending doom? Did Apollo 11 really land on the moon in 1969? Did you find out if that was a cult that was living just 2 doors down that you waved to every single day when you got your mail? If these are the things you ponder when you should be sleeping, then I would like to welcome you to Creepy Confidential. I'm your host, Noelle, your resident weirdo Wisconsinite. I open case files on my favorite cryptids, cults, conspiracies, and other worldly creepy, with new cases, live broadcasts, and local lore. Some stories have been lost with time. Others are perhaps still happening today in your local communities, right up under your very creepy noses. So get ready, creeps. It's Creepy Confidential. What's up, creeps? Sup, creep? How you doing, Nick?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm glad to be back. Thank you for getting me out of my little slump. I'm excited to be here. So, creeps, I'm back again. Creepy Confidential After Dark. Tonight we have Mr. Nick White of deadmansmicpod here.
Yeah,
he's been here before. You probably recognize his face. But we're here to chat for a minute. Before I get to going here, I have to show everybody. I already showed him. If you guys are familiar with the Ancient Aliens, Giorgio, I am wearing my Giorgio Aliens costume / wardrobe tonight. Yeah. So if people are wondering why I'm wearing this suit, it's in honor of Ancient Aliens. So very, very cool. Joanna says, "Creep."
What up?
So maybe that
an alien mask tonight, but it didn't work out. So
it didn't show up. But we can just imagine. I wish I had like a little filter I could put over you. That was like a little alien. Then you could rock that.
I know, right? Fun fact: on Halloween, because I'm a teacher or whatever. On Halloween, all of us, our kids, all the teachers, we all dress up. And I actually wore my alien sunglasses, and they actually killed my eyes throughout the day because I wear my actual glasses. But it's Halloween. I'm gonna wear those alien shades.
You sacrifice things.
I did. I did the unthinkable all day long.
And that's worth it. The art is worth it.
Exactly. It's all about the creativity. That's it.
I'm glad even going outside of like horror genre, you wanted to do some alien stuff.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But that's what we're here for tonight. So creeps, if you're tuning in, I recently was sent a message by Nick about Halloween Horror Nights. Now, I have not been, but it's a huge thing. It's a theme park for horror people. If you haven't heard of it, you've probably been living under a rock. But is it called a house? Is that what they call it?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So a house within the theme park, and it's called Invasion Alien Abduction.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
That's okay.
And as soon as he sent it to me, I was glad I was in your thoughts.
Oh yeah, I thought about you
about aliens, but I immediately went to what are they going to build it around? And because I can appreciate a haunted house, we've talked about it. I've worked in them, volunteered in them, built them. So I get that side. So before I guess we get off on the tangent of what's inspiring it, in my opinion, where do you think they're going to come from in this?
So from what I know and what I've read, but also from my passion about our topic tonight, I am thinking, but also hoping that we come from a nostalgic standpoint. I think this is one of those topics where too much experimenting will kind of kill the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We need to stick to the basics with this. I think the more basic that we are with it, the more lore and legends that you hear when you're young. If you hear alien stories, we stick to that path, stick to that kind of backstory. Aliens, abductions, they come from the sky. We have that persona of what we think they look like. We can kind of stick to that. I think we're looking at a haunted house that could definitely be talked about for a very long time.
My thoughts on it was that they could either blow this out of the park and it's amazing, or it's going to fail.
Yep.
Because they're gonna rely on too many animatronics, and because you can put an alien in a suit, it's pretty easy. It's hard to make a person an alien every night,
Right.
but it is the big wigs,
Right.
And a lot of like smoke, I'm thinking, but I have a feeling they're not going to dive into the fear of it all, like the true fear of being snatched out of a trail, out of your bed. I mean, there's alleged stories of people being impregnated by aliens in the middle of the night, like
there's all kind of stuff
for days. Like the fear of that alone should make these people think, okay, this is where we got to go with it.
And what I would imagine, so last fall, Craig and we went to Hallow Scream at SeaWorld. That's their version of Halloween Horror Nights, but they did an alien-themed house that was called Farm 51. Takes place on a farm,
I think I know where it's going.
We come through, we have our silos, we have, the barn and things like that. However, they didn't push it as far as they needed to where we could get like that extreme action within the story. We knew we were going to be getting abducted. So what I'm hoping to see from this one, because Universal's very good with taking a sound stage and making you feel like you're still outdoors.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we really do start in the driveway or a backyard of a suburban house. And then whatever family that we have, within that property, that they are the ones that are going to encounter these aliens. And it sounds like the aliens are going to be aggressive too. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's the stories that these people describe, like the people, kind of the historical things I want to talk about, I'm hoping they kind of pull from is they are not comfortable when they describe these stories. It's basically like they were held down, probed, and then set back in their tank. Like terrifying. And that, but they have to lean into that fear instead of just jump scares. Like make it a real person that's getting worked on the whole way. It's like brain matter, guts, you name it.
Well, and as you're saying that, I just thought about, you're going to have a lot of people coming into this attraction that love the lore of aliens, have learned about it, study it. They're going to be your gurus that know everything about the topic at hand.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have another crew of people coming in that know about Area 51, and that's it. They're not going to know anything else. So where do the creators of the haunted house kind of meet in the middle to pull people in to, please the people that know what they know, but also educate the people that don't know as much about the lore of what we're talking about?
Right, that like the historical lore. Is that what you mean? Like what we're because I think there's age gaps. You get the days of the Roswells, and those people are almost done with their life here when that happened. Those people are fairly elderly, and then the next generation was the 60s, 70s, 80s. We'll say 70s and 80s, and that's where we started getting more abduction tales. That were modern, where you got things like Fire in the Sky, the movie, and you had things like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which we were talking about. Then there's that generation, and I feel that's kind of like young boomers and Gen X are that era, and a little bit of me, a little bit of like an elder millennial. We know about those, plus the old historical, because those movies were on TV.
Right.
So I'm like, you have to figure out what age group's coming through here, or they're not going to understand any of the references.
The further we go, some of those stories aren't being told anymore. Like some of those, because we don't know the truth behind everything, so we really do call these myths and legends, but some of them are eventually going to disappear, and nobody will be able to recall them. So there is a generation of people that really are missing some of these tales.
Kind of these sections in time. I agree, and that's where I'm curious. At first I thought they were going to, like, it was going to be like the movie Aliens, like with the big xenomorphs or whatever. And then I noticed it was a person getting abducted. Very X-Files-ish. Their whole poster was ripped from X-Files.
Oh yeah.
But it works. Everybody loves it. It's a very memorable image with the person being sucked up into the UFO. And I was like, oh, we're gonna go like, because you mentioned the farmland one. I want to come back by that one because I think it's going to be different from what they're going to do at this abductions one. Like the farmland one, you had the chance for real gore because you had cow mutilations and horse mutilations. I mean, animals in particular states of decay really creep people out. And you could have made it as crazy as you want. Now, granted, the lore is that everything was sucked out of them. They were like desiccated creatures. So I feel like I don't know if did they have that there? Do you remember if they leaned into that at all?
I do remember there being a bit of gore within the maze that they created for sure. I do think that I kind of feel like they may have had issues with the drawing board, right? Like putting everything together and figuring out where do things go so that it flows correctly so that people understand.
Right. Because it needs to be kind of a story.
Right. It needs to be kind of a story. And not to discredit SeaWorld, but one thing that I know just from my haunted house mindset is that if you don't begin with telling a story, then it'll never be told.
Right. It'll never be cohesive at any point throughout the time.
This was more of just the facade. The opening facade was to tell you exactly what you were going through. You were able to, put things together for a few seconds, and then you were kind of in there and you were out. And that is kind of one of the issues that we face with theme park haunts, is that they are not able to be as long. We're talking about these Halloween Horror Night houses, but in reality, this alien abduction house is going to be no longer than about 6 minutes.
So it's super short. You have to be very impactful.
Exactly.
In 6 minutes is probably, if they have a couple large areas and then maybe a couple clusters of rooms either in between or aside it, you're going to be in and out of that bad boy pretty quick.
Right. So it's like you have to go high with your set. You have to be larger than life as much as possible in order to portray what an independent haunt could probably portray in about a 45-minute walkthrough.
Right.
Packing like all of that
big house.
Right.
I think that you're now, because now I'm painting a picture and now we're going for it. You talked about when you envision it starting with people walking in to like their driveway, like that kind of like very X-Files, Dark Knight, Stranger Things, like you can imagine inspiration from that. And you could really walk them through the whole story, but almost Quentin Tarantino it, where they go in and all of a sudden they start having flashbacks. So you have because now they can use TV screens. Right. So the TV screens are flashing like memories of what's happening as you're going into, the house. And just when you think you're fine and you get a safe room, the abductions start. The abduction, it like kicks in. You hear the big bright white light from above, the big, and here it goes. It's like a ride
or something like that.
Yeah, where somebody's either you or an actor, whatever, they're like someone's being sucked upwards into a void.
And I want to point out,
so cool,
your picture that you're painting. Let's think about the movie Nope, Jordan Peele's Nope. I don't know if
I've never seen it. Never seen it.
So I won't spoil.
Thank
you. We're very much looking at farmland. We're looking at either a farm, but for this one, what I'm envisioning is southwestern suburb. I just feel like for that vibe, we need a southwestern suburb. Even if aliens came, in Raleigh, North Carolina, or New York City, or somewhere like that. Personally, I don't know. That just doesn't hit for me. I feel like if we're gonna stick with the stories, if we're gonna stick to where things have traditionally come from, let's set it in rural Arizona, rural New Mexico, somewhere like that. and just kind of we can go from that.
And I think because we slightly hinted, because we were speaking about this kind of before we got started, and now I don't know who this person is, so you'll have to explain that again. Who is this Charles Gray person?
Charles Gray is one of the senior writers for Halloween Horror Nights, so he is over some of the haunted house pilots and things like that.
Got it. Okay, so that makes sense. Let me. Oh, my mic. I just realized that my microphone might be a little hot. Let's turn that down. Okay, I get very excited. Last time you and I got together, my microphone was hot the whole time. I was screaming.
Yeah, that was a good time though.
That was a very popular episode. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. So this one, I want to talk about what he wrote on an Instagram post on Fear and Beer Pod. At Fear and Beer Pod.
Shout out Fear and Beer.
So they have like the little promotional picture on the front. There is a little person getting sucked up, but I think you have a hard time. They're having a hard time. So the first one says, guests witness a terrifying encounter with an aggressive, unseen alien craft that has abducted a family and its livestock from a remote homestead. And they are now plotting to tear everyone apart. So they're kind of melding, I'll say Noah, the collection of animal theory. Right. They're not even talking about mutilation of any kind, but they're saying that the aliens are aggressive.
Right. That was something I picked up on too.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious if it's going to be like crazy. Are they aggressive because they're just trying to really just hold their prey down, or are they legit like malevolent, like bad?
Because what I'm thinking is, if they're crashing into this homestead, and obviously the people there are gonna, take the first hit.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we go after that to where they are wanting to take everybody else? Because to me, if we're in a remote homestead, then where are the next group of people? Are they really that close? Or, we have to paint the picture of how we get from, one group to everybody else.
Perhaps the isolation is what makes it scary. There's nobody out there to save this farm.
Nobody else to help. Yeah, to help them.
They can just come down, collect samples, and leave.
Right.
It's like typical robbers. Why do a smash and grab on a full, liquor store when you can
go far out,
break into a car, or one that's way out, in and out. I mean, you don't want distractions. You don't want anybody seeing you.
Right.
So, yeah. Oh, I feel like, I'm starting to understand why you guys speculate so much.
See, it leave loopholes for us to do this. That's all.
Yeah. And then I'm putting like my historical pieces of my brain together, which we're going to get to here in a second. Oh, yeah. And I think they can lean into it. So then the next part says, in Invasion, Alien Abduction, we really wanted to tell a story of the horrific moment at night when they are coming to take you. Very stereotypical image.
Yep.
Beam. I'm seeing like beam from the sky, like X-Files style, where it just lights up the woods. And then,
yep.
Like,
that's what I'm seeing too.
Because if you could totally create that in a soundstage and just scare the pants off of everybody.
Like, I need the mothership to take the whole ceiling.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Ooh.
See?
Yes. See? When money's no object, which to them there is no object, they can spend as much as they want.
Right.
You can make things happen like that. So this is the next slide. Same thing. Again, guys, if you're tuning in, I'm reading from Fear and Beer Pod. They're telling what this house, invasion, alien abduction, kind of what their vision is.
Right.
So the next one says it's really gory, really violent, and just put that aesthetic on everything. And it really changed our story, and we got very excited about it. And just one little nugget of difference too. It's always like some Midwestern place in these stories. We'll talk about that. We're like, what if it takes place in the Southwest? So it's got a little bit of that kind of turquoise and cactusy flavor to it.
That's what I need.
Yeah. And like my first thought was at the end of the thing, which we talked about, they've not all been in the Midwest. Area 51, the mother of all places so far, the stories of Roswell, that's all out west.
Yeah. All out west.
It is. We have stories that are out here, like the Barney and Betty Hill story, which is in New Hampshire. That's just one to name a few. There's been in New York. They've been all over the place. So I'm like, well, but I get that that southwestern feel is going to have that deserty, dirty, dusty. You can get lots of particulate floating around in the air.
Yeah, and it's going to kick up that rural feel even more.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are major cities out there, but they are so much far apart.
Mm-hmm.
So you really can't create that homestead, kind of like you said, the isolation. That Southwest, that vibe is going to really help them to push it.
Okay, and that the very first part too, it says it's really gory, really violent. I do worry that they're going to go like Terrifier style aliens. Because it's popular, and that I think that's kind of lost its charm on a lot of people.
I think it has to.
So I wish that they reel it in and stop with the excessive gore, excessive blood, excessive violence, because that's not what Aliens is about. That's not their thing.
No,
like they're not really known for that.
No, I think this is more. It should be more of a quality over quantity.
Right. I agree. Very much so.
You can have the gore in a few places, and where you have it, you intensify it, but it doesn't need to be. In other words, if we walk in the haunted house and the abduction's really not supposed to truly take place for maybe 2 scenes, then you don't need any gore or anything, in the front yard or any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
Because
like
to me,
just keep it chill.
Right. You want to be able to build it, and you don't want to come in on 100.
Yeah. Otherwise there's no crescendo. Like if you just bring them in and they're already, that by the time they get to the end, their bodies are already coming down off of the high. Like you lose them. Yeah, I see that a lot. So I'm curious. I hope. So if you get a chance to go, because I have other things going again, but you have to tell me what it's all about.
We'll review it.
Like we'll take notes, and then we need to come back on that.
Yep.
So the next slide says, we thought that the scariest thing would be that they just don't care. They're grabbing animals, people. It's almost like the little kid with the magnifying glass kind of thing. It's just like they just don't see us, as they're not there to terrorize us. They're there to take us, and they don't care what wall they puncture through. I think that's a clue. Something's going to come through a wall. What kind of, and they wall puncture through what kind of animal it is. So they're probably going to use, like when it comes through, like the abduction comes through and like takes them. It might literally be like you said, where the ceiling comes off.
Right. It might. Yeah. There may be a hole
like,
there. Or something.
Play that video back. I predicted it.
Yep, we called it.
We called it. Here we go. For longtime fans, I would say this has the flavor of old HHN. It really does. This is most definitely kind of a love letter for those who've been here, for coming back for a long time, and also the guy or the lady who's coming in and bringing their kid for the first time that they've been for a long time. So they're trying to keep the generational scare of aliens going.
Right.
It sounds like.
Yep.
So now that if we reread that and gone through it, I'm hoping that they play off of a few very heavy historical abductions, because they have the blueprint and the sample of what the audio sounds like, of how they felt, what they looked like after. So the first one I thought of instantly was the Barney and Betty Hill incident.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're very familiar with that incident, or maybe a name,
but I do not know the full backstory.
So
it happened on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, that one happened in New Hampshire, and they were coming back home on their it was either like a honeymoon. I think it was their honeymoon, and they were driving back home, and they were going south on Highway 3. It was late at night. They estimated probably around 10 o'clock, and all of a sudden this bright star appeared to be following them that Betty noticed.
Okay.
And they're going down the road. Side note, they're not the only ones in the car. Their dachshund is also in the car, and they're headed on this journey. So I always kind of wondered, what happened.
Right.
But it was how it kicked off that, or kind of the after thing that made it more scary to me when I read this, and listened to what they went through. So Betty grabs the binoculars in the back and wants to check it out. And she notices it has a double row of lights, and that it's kind of in like a glowing pancake is how she describes it. But she can see people in the craft, or human-like creatures, in the craft. And at this point, they pull over. Barney's looking at it, and he gets nervous that they're witnessing a military weapon. And which means, you see something you're not supposed to see, you probably are going to disappear from this realm. And he was a veteran, so he also kind of understood pieces of it.
Right.
And then apparently they were driving down the road. They heard a noise, and then they were gone. That's the last thing that they remembered. And several miles from where they saw the UFO is where they come back to reality. And they're missing time. By the time they get back home, they've missed 2 hours of time randomly.
Huh.
They notice on the back of the car, I do not remember what kind of car it is. I know I should know this, but I don't. An old car, and there's like a dozen circular abrasions in the trunk of the car. Okay. And when they I don't know why they would think to do this, but when they put a compass by it, it would spin. And it's just on the trunk of a car. No nuclear devices or anything like that. It would just spin. I remember reading through the story, and her dress was torn, and she was missing her earrings. And I don't believe he had any damage to his clothes, but he was very rattled, of course, by the whole situation. When they got home, I think my interpretation is that they were like, "Did you see what I saw? That I saw what you saw?" Right. And they tried to draw the craft separately, and they created the same drawing together when they came back together. So it's
okay. It's coming together now.
It's coming together, right? It's kind of starting to come together. So what they had after effects that were major, and it was psychological. It was physical. Betty would have these nightmares of about being taken on a craft, and she didn't know where it was coming from. And she believed that in her dreams, the beings were talking to her via, what did she call it? Transformative talk. I think that's what she said. Because they didn't really know what telepathy was. They didn't use that word. So that was just what she used in its place. Barney had acute high blood pressure directly following it. He's probably a little stressed out. He had ulcers and a circular rash on his body.
Huh. The circular is the key piece there.
Right. Because it's is it the same? Is it the same, the trunk, as it was on him? I couldn't find pictures of the rash when I did my episode. And if you guys are listening, I did a whole episode on Barney and Betty early on. I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but it's a good one because it really goes into this super detail.
Yeah.
A fun story I read that I think is also scary, but also kind of polite of the aliens. They left, they came back, I think, and Betty saw a group of leaves on the kitchen table, and her earrings were in the leaves.
Oh, so they were polite enough to. We
Yeah.
don't need our earrings.
We don't need your earrings. And returned it. And she initially threw out her dress, but she kept her dress. And they've tried extracting like proteins from it because there is something on her dress that we haven't really been able to 100% identify. So I feel very aliens when I'm talking about that.
Oh, yeah. No, but everything there is exactly why we have to speculate and really dive into the history of aliens, because I think most people hear these stories and they just think clown in the woods, like, chasing after stupid teenagers. But no, this is not what this was when they got back. They had lost their sense of time and all these different things.
And I think the part that is the most terrifying to listen to, I don't like it when people are in distress. There is audio of they were hypnotized following that to try and pull repressed feelings, emotions, memories, things like that. And Barney, described that there were these humanoid creatures that were in tight uniforms, and like he could remember what they looked like, but he was so worried that in his voice, I think he was saying that they took Betty, like he was worried about Betty. And then when they switched, she apparently on the craft was walked around for a tour. On the craft, she was comfortable enough with that. The aliens had to sedate Barney because he was just too nervous. And they showed her a star map, and which is something she was able to pull out of that as well. And in her hypnosis tape, I have a feeling she's describing the exam that they gave her, because she's like crying while she's talking about her navel. They're something about going towards my navel, like they were trying to go after her lower area. And she was very stressed out about that. She's under hypnosis, so it's not like not like you and I talking. And her voice is so hard to listen to. It doesn't sound like she's acting, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can tell there's something off.
You can tell. You can always tell. And that was something that I think was the most scariest, is they had no idea they had these memories and they were walking around with them. Just scooped up in the middle of they were followed on the highway, scooped up off the highway into a craft. Right. You were sedated. One of them was sedated. One of them had an exam where they went after actually, I think they both had exams where they were after their nether regions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrifying.
Yeah. And then to be returned.
Yeah.
In the exact same place that you left.
It was miles down the road.
Right.
So how did the car get there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Like, that's one of those when you start thinking about it, more questions start coming to mind, too.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the world of aliens.
Yeah.
Extraterrestrials, aliens. You never have a question truly answered. It just leads to more and more questions.
Yep.
So I'm hoping they get that. Like, if they can mimic the smell of something, because you know how you get like open air in Washington does not smell like the open air in Nevada. And if you can smell an engine, or you can get that kind of electrical feel, that static in the air. Like, mind screw with these people.
Like, one thing just off of you saying that, just like, the smells can definitely be thrown in there for sure. Mm-hmm. But another thing that would be really cool, and I know that this would be, I actually don't think that this would be too hard, but depending on how you build a scene in a haunted house to create an illusion, you can actually change the air pressure in a room.
Oh, so like your ears pop a little?
So imagine if the craft is coming, but we can make your ears pop, we can make you feel that heavy force. Mm-hmm. That would be really cool too.
I hope they mess with sound, because you know how when like an engine or a car goes by that has a good system, like a good one, not one that needs dynamite,
Right.
and it hits the low that low bass rattle where it kind of makes your like your throat and your neck kind of like, where is that coming from? I imagine a turbine, like a turbine engine feeling like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool.
Where it's like coming down, because you could just do that with sound and then you wouldn't have to do the pressure, because I think both of them would be like, what's happening?
Right. If
Which is the point.
If I had to do something, like if I was able to work on this house, I just thought about one other thing they could do. After the abduction happens, they say that, you know, these aliens are supposed to be going after everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought process is, okay, if they're going after everyone, let's get everybody involved. And by everybody, I mean the police. We need to get them involved. So sound-wise, let's have not police cars, because they're up in the air. So we need police chopper sounds. And along with those sounds,
swooping in.
Like they're swooping in. And along with that, we need the radio communication between the officers talking about where they went and everything. Just very chaotic.
Yeah, what they're seeing. You're like, oh my God, guys, over there, you know, 2 clicks, like we're going to take this thing down. Because it would be, at that point, it would be military aircraft that was in the area.
Absolutely.
So you'd have big, hardy choppers, not ghetto birds flying around. And I think it would just be, you could really mimic that. That's a good idea.
If you can take the speakers and stagger the sound so that it's coming from all different ways, not all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're creating an atmosphere now, like that.
It's like fake traveling sound, like because of your timing, you're faking that it's actually going that direction.
It's just following you around.
I love that.
Yeah,
I really love that. Okay, so we need to get this Charles dude on the phone.
Yeah,
we need to tell him, look,
Charles, you see my email.
We talked about it. Yeah. You're going about this all wrong. Okay.
Right. You just got to add a few things.
Yeah. They never listen. And then they wonder why it tanks.
And I'm just like, this is one that I've been so excited for. I'm like, please do it justice.
Do it right. That's all we want. So, and that was, when did I remember that one was in the 60s? Yeah, that was in 61. There's a lot, so they're hard to keep track of when they all happen. So we're going to fast forward to the 70s. And here's another, this one might be more familiar because they've made a recent movie about it. So Travis Walton, if you're in the community, you've probably heard of him or you've seen his very fabulous mustache. It is quite bountiful. And his story, I think, is more, I think it's even more scary, and it leans, I'm pretty sure that X-Files did take the imagery of what his incidents felt like. And now, are you familiar with the Travis Walton case?
This is one that I'm not familiar with at all.
Oh, yep. So just Distorted Realities just comment, like as soon as they knew that I was going to say it. Fire in the Sky. Yes. So Travis Walton is the reason why that movie was made. Fire in the Sky. Now, I have to keep all this history jumbled in my head, so I'm going to try and keep it somewhat right. So it was him and other fellow loggers, I believe, that were driving in the forest at night. And all of a sudden, like a bright light appeared like within the woods or next to the woods. So it's literally fire in the sky, like this huge bright light.
Right. And
he got out and started walking towards the forest. And that's, first of all, I'm like, why? What are you doing? You know, like,
why are you going in there?
Why are you doing it? Yeah. So, and I'm glad that they're here so we can kind of put the pieces of this together. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of information jumbled up in my head. So he gets out in the woods. He's walking in the woods. He falls. His buddies say, nope, and they leave. They probably assumed something happened. They assumed he was deceased. Who knows? And they were coming from the bar. Maybe they thought he passed out. But they come back like 15 minutes later and he's gone. He's gone. He disappeared for 5 days. They did I believe it was 5. They did police report. They sent out like people to try and find him. And it was one of those, like, what happened to him? What happened to you? Yeah. And how are you functioning if you just got scooped out of the forest for 5 days?
5 days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And that's, I think things like that. It's scary to see someone just straight up disappear in the forest or go down in the forest, a huge random sky, fire in the sky. And then for them to just boop, gone 5 days. So it's, and that was, I was like, how did they find him? They found him naked in a telephone booth, is what Distorted Realities tell me. Thank you for helping me fill in my incident lore, if you will. This old gray mare ain't what she used to be.
In my mind, though, if he doesn't have clothes in the telephone booth, we need to figure out in that 5-day period what happened.
Did you lose your clothes?
Yeah. When and why? What kind of tests were they?
Yeah. And people have said that, it's come out, I've read various, as a lot of these things are back and forth, and it was a hoax, and it was because of, the land and how they were trying. It goes on and on that it's a possibility that it was a hoax. How do you find a missing man 5 days later naked in a telephone booth without it being something totally weird?
Right.
I don't know. Like, make that make sense.
Right.
And I don't know if I can remember a lot of the details of what happened per se. Like, if he had probes and things like that. My brain is a little sketchy still again on that. But I remember that's the reason why they did Fire in the Sky. It was very scary, in my opinion.
This one has that intensity to it. Not so much of the eeriness, but more of just like almost the realism of like, oh, this really did happen.
It like the aliens and everything, like, reminded me of John Carpenter's movies from like the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. You got
the like weird texture of the skin and but I think that one was more violent. Like, the movie portrayed it as being very violent. Or scary.
Yeah, shows a violent side that wouldn't necessarily.
So I'm hoping maybe they go that way, where you go into a room and there's somebody it's almost like an operating room, but you're coming through as a passerby, as a patron, and they're aliens that are performing lab samples on this person. And that's where you can make it gross if you want to, Yeah,
you can make it gross. You just have to stay within what'll make sense. Because you can't come in and a person is in a jigsaw trap being controlled by an alien.
Right. Then if you've left the reservation.
Right. That's going to kill it immediately. But if there's an experiment going on and they're trying to figure out whatever they want to figure out, then that makes more sense. Yeah.
And this was another, so Missing 411, I have. I always say I'm a skeptic first. Are you familiar with that Missing 411? Have you heard about that?
I feel like I've heard bits and pieces of it. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so shorthand is like people that are missing randomly in state parks. That's me shortening it a lot. But like, they're there, boom.
Anyway, too.
I'm like, well, it's the middle of a forest. If someone went hiking by themselves and had dementia or sickness or dehydration or whatever, I have a hard time believing that it's aliens or some sort of internal overlord.
Yeah.
Because why are they going to steal Clancy from the Olympic Mountains?
Right. And
Aliens
I feel like
makes more sense.
this is a big topic of conversation in the news today. Is that especially at like your Yellowstone, like those kind of
The big ones.
national parks, people are going missing pretty
Regularly.
Regularly. It's happening a lot.
I'm going to look like I work at the Cheesecake Factory now that I take my coat off.
We're still holding on to a Cheesecake Factory gift card that we need to use.
See? I do. I look like I'm going to be. I'll bring back your bread soon.
Your bread, yeah.
Although, side note, I guarantee us older people, if we went and took jobs like that, we would freaking kill it, because we know we've been through it.
I'd be stressed out
compared to these young folks like yourself. Yeah, and then I think the tail end of everything was, I hope because they said animals. Yeah. I'm wondering what they're going to do. What is your idea that they're going to incorporate? Because like when I think animals, I think there's two parts. Either there's possibility that aliens are collecting other creatures, animals, to create a hybrid species. That's how we get cryptids. So, right. Sasquatch is a human and a gorilla or a monkey or whatever. And that is, I wonder if they're going to dive into that. Like, because you can make the cryptid thing slide in real easy if you showed like test tubes of babies.
Yeah.
That are like
that would
baby kind of frogman, like.
And I honestly think if they don't do some sort of representation of that, that might hurt the attraction, because the other way that I could see them going, and what would probably be easier for them to portray, would just be full world domination, where we'll
just take over.
We'll just take over. And that would be great, because that's going to be intense. But if we go the cryptid route, then that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, where you're going to also educate some people and kind of get people's minds going a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, if done right, this could be something where stories are going to start developing around this.
And I don't want to necessarily expose my twisted mind, but I'm going to, for the sake of aliens. I had guests on not that long ago, and the Shaws, they had lots of theories about that. And one of them was how these extraterrestrial beings are procreating with humans, unbeknownst to them, or beknownst to them sometimes. And I wonder, I don't think nowadays it would go over, but if you had a room where something like that was happening, I think that would not be easy to watch. I'm not saying make it really nuts. I'm not saying like no. But
it's almost one
like
of
they're
those.
creeping into a room where someone is sleeping, and
right,
it's a heavy relation.
It's more heavy than anything, but I think that definitely would.
Hey Rachel, welcome in.
Rachel in the house, what's going on? Yeah, I definitely think that would push it a lot, though.
It would.
Either people are going to
come out of Terrifier, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, either people are going to come out of the other end of this haunted house and be like, "That was really cool," or people are going to come out terrified, but also wondering and wanting more. And to me, that's the win. Like,
and here's another. They're heavy in the comments tonight. Hybridization of species is really heavy. It is because it's like neither one of the species that is being combined has control over their desire to be a subspecies combo. So yeah. Oh, but now I'm really thinking about the room with the test tubes of the hybrid aliens, like
almost like a laboratory kind of.
Yeah, because if they really don't care and they basically see us like one big anthill, they're going to experiment on us any way they want.
So I just thought of something.
Oh.
Let's just say theoretically we're going through this. Let's say the haunted house takes place in the house, but they're getting the livestock or all the animals. They're getting the family that lives there, but they want to get everyone else. And so us going through that haunted house, we become everyone else. So with that being said, we are going to take a step into the craft itself. And that is where the test tubes and everything.
You get shuffled
exactly
to this area.
Shuffled in there, and when you go in there, you see what the family's gone through while they were in the craft. And essentially, now it's your turn. They're foreshadowing what is going to happen when this craft takes
you're being processed in like cattle.
Right.
Exactly like basically.
Being tagged, basically.
Oh, I love this. See, now you're going to have a different HHN room. Be like, Noelle, this one's about such and such. Yeah. Like the vampires one. Oh my God.
Adding more.
Like, oh my gosh. Because I saw on a side note, I saw they added sinners, and I've started reading about Irish vampires and the history of the lore and where that is from. Because you know me, I'm always off on a, reading journey. And I'm like, we might have to talk about sinners. Because it's a whole book. It's great, so it's I think you could dive into any of it. Oh, here apparently we've been given a couple things here. Hold on. First one, it looks like the J. Michael Show is tuning in. Thank you for joining us. We're still chatting. I know we've been on here for a little while, but we're still chatting. And then another comment says Twilight Zone episode To Serve Man 2.0. Why do I feel like that's the one we reviewed?
I think
you know what I'm talking about?
Was that the one in the neighborhood?
Now I have to look it up because I have a feeling. Because remember we were like, they had the alien.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Hold on. I just need to go to the YouTube.
Wild.
Pop, my cat is being stupid. She's chewing on something she shouldn't be chewing on. Cats. It's real life, people. Yeah, because we did that one not that long ago. That was the reacts. Hold on. I'm almost there.
One, two.
There it is. Now I have to know what the episode was called. I know I listed it.
No, we did the one with the guy at the library.
Time not enough. The Mask. Oh, the monsters are due on Maple Street. Quick to Kill. That was the one where they like dump you into the aliens that are just conducting an experiment. That's one too.
Yeah.
It's like they could recreate. I think it would lose people nowadays because they're kind of dense. But
I think you really sit somebody down and have them go through that one. I mean, that one packed a punch for me, and that was one that I hadn't seen before, and it definitely left me with questions.
Yeah, we both were. We were like, where is this going? Like, is it a mutiny? Okay, it's a mutiny, but why? And where were they going? And like, oh, it's aliens.
If I'm not wrong. Was it the main guy who was basically acting to be terrified was kind of the ringleader behind the whole thing?
That one is when they like backed out of the town or the little
they backed out the town.
And it was like the aliens were in the mountain.
That's it.
Watching all the keyboards and everything. Yeah, that one, for being just the old black and white, it was good.
Yeah.
All right, got some more. Well, I got some more comments here. Aliens go to the White House to convince humans to go to a new planet, only to realize they are being harvested as food. That's a good turn
right there.
That's a good turn.
Because you and I just talked about this before we went live. But we were talking about that nostalgic feel of the alien abductions and everything happening out west.
Out west,
what if we brought it in that direction? An alien abduction that happened in DC where things are not always talked about and only certain people know certain information. That would
be interesting. That would be another swing. He had a follow-up comment. They uncovered this because they desphered a book titled To Serve Man, which was actually a cookbook. Oh, I need to watch that one. To Serve Mankind was the episode. All right. Gonna have to look up that one. Maybe we'll have to do a reacts to it. Like the whole the problem is YouTube does not like it thinks everything's copyrighted. Then we could do Patreon.
Yeah, they definitely.
See, I'm channeling Sergio. Look at this.
There you go. We're getting ready for the aliens. They'll be here.
Yeah, right. I feel like now we're getting into aliens.
Right.
We're getting ready to do it. Oh, Ghost Dog's here. What's up, hubby?
Ghost Dog.
It was aliens.
It was the aliens, no matter what.
It was. Do you think they're going to? Now I'm like thinking more about the house. Like we've talked about a little bit of historical stuff, but they have a chance to go to the mutilation part again, because you could have desiccated corpses and then of animals, and then you could have whatever it is they took out next to it. Also a lab setting. I love your idea of the whole roof of a room coming off.
Oh,
like you hear the and then the whole thing just lifts with like crazy light and hope that everybody just runs out the door.
But only to run right into it anyway.
Yep. I think that would be wild. I'm hoping to see a room where things are being done to humans to find lab samples, and that it's not fake. Do not stick an animatronic there. Like a real person who is awake. A real actor. Yeah, I think drives me crazy. Giorgio, it is. I took my coat off, but I was. My Giorgio.
We really need actors to play a family that are going to be abducted.
Mm-hmm.
We really need them to really like dive into that and be like almost optimistic about what the light is, even when the roof is gone. I don't want it to be too much like a horror movie to where you hear the noise and you freak out.
Yeah. It's just jump scares.
In the stories that you told, like they saw the light coming toward them and the light followed them. And then in the other story, he went toward the light. So there's a bit of a curiosity there too.
Because we are. I think that's a big problem, is that we're very nosy as a species. Some of us, like myself, I'm like, no, if there's a noise over there, I'm not going over there. That's just how it works. But I know a lot of people are very curious. And another one, I'm glad they brought this one up. Another TV film was Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There was multiple, I think there was multiple versions of this movie, but I mean, you could, because it was that 70s to 80s horror movie where everything got gross. Like everything got gross.
Eventually it was just gross. Everything was gross.
Every single thing. Like the way that they transformed, the way that they died, everything was juicy and gross. And that could be their chance to bring in some of the, original horror movies and not necessarily true life stuff. But like, here's your blueprint. Just follow it.
Right.
And stay away from being the Terrifier. Yes, I'll say it again.
I wasn't on that train much.
And so Ghost Dog says reflective eyes and clicking sounds, and then bam, bright light. It's the sounds. That too.
The sounds are going to be key in this. I mean, your detail is going to be huge too, but the sounds are going to be like the make or break.
I agree. I think if you can have like higher, like almost like tweeters that have just highs, but they're locational. So you hear that, and they're coming from certain areas, but that changes. So you're like, oh no, there's a bunch of them in the room with me right meow.
Yeah.
Like,
that would be
I'm just excited to see what they do.
Well, I don't know if you saw A Quiet Place, the movie.
I haven't. I didn't because I was scared.
Okay.
But Mike said it's very good. He said
It
that
is.
it's very good. And I think we watched part of The Quiet Place 2 together. I don't think I committed to the whole thing.
Okay.
Because of the cat.
Well, they did a house 2 years ago now. Maybe we might even be at 3 years ago now. I think 2 for sure. But they did A Quiet Place, and to no surprise, the entire HHN community, they were not fans of this house. But who loved it? I loved it.
Do you tend to like favor like the ones that aren't necessarily super popular?
For the most part, I do. There was one last year that was all about, it was called Dolls Let's Play Dead, and it was all about, well, you would think it's just going to be a creepy Victorian style house with just dolls everywhere, but no, they put us in a toy box. You are in the toy box. Yeah,
I like that.
All the scenes are life-sized toys that you grow up. Like you were in a giant dollhouse. One scene was an easy bake oven. It smelled like burning plastic, like hot glue guns and things like that. Very unorthodox, very abstract, but I loved it though.
You loved it?
A lot of people were like, "Oh, I don't know about that one." I was like, "No, you got to go."
Because it either creeped them out and they didn't want to admit that they were that scared, or they didn't understand it. A lot of times it's because they just don't understand the gag, whatever it may be.
And it was a house that there was a backstory, but I actually didn't catch it the first time and had to go through a couple more. But with A Quiet Place, all I can tell you is that in order to really portray that story, the people that you're going through the haunted house with have to lean into the lore, which means that you need
completely.
To be quiet.
Yep.
The very
that's what it's about. That deafening quietness.
When we went through the very first time, the people in front of my group included, and the people behind us, everybody was silent. And it truly felt as if I was sitting back in the movie theater watching it. It felt that great.
If people just follow the social rules, like this is going to be a quiet place. Be quiet. Shut up. Because then you can fall into that immersive environment where you forget for a second, which is what you want when you go through.
I had chills coming out of it. I was like, this was perfect. And spun back around to get another run of it later on that night. And I was probably with a high school homecoming in front of me, and they just ruined it. Everybody was screaming. It's like, come on, man.
There was a good comment I highlighted because while we're talking about like what the aliens are going to look like and stuff. Another Distorted Reality says, or alien-like creature from the Kurt Russell movie, The Thing. Like those aliens. I actually just saw that movie for the first time. I'll admit it. Because again, I'm a chicken. I'm okay if I'm the one haunting. But when it's the other way around, no. Then I'm like total chicken. But that movie, oh my gosh, it was kind of intense. For being an old, 80s horror flick. Yeah. The fact that it was distorted and these creatures were really gross. And the animal part, I had to turn away at the beginning. Because me and critters. But I did watch most of it. I was proud of myself that I did it. But
I'm weird about
all of that.
Certain like poltergeist. When the steak moves across the countertop, that just always grossed me out. I don't know. I just can't do it. But I really like those B-rated like 50s, very early thriller kind of horror movie.
Yeah.
What if they did something with these aliens on the standpoint of the 50-foot woman? Because that would be insane.
Because now there's like the kids nowadays. I say anybody younger than me, the kids nowadays, they don't know about those.
Yeah.
You know, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, 50-Foot Woman. Like there was a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
The Blob. Oh my gosh, we just watched the original Blob. I had never seen any of them. I don't know why I was so afraid of them. But we watched the original, and it was cheesy, but it was good. No, we have a couple comments here. So Ghost Dog says, I love QP, probably Quiet Place 1 and 2. 3 was dumb. 4 is coming back to the 1 and 2 storyline. So it looks like he's stoked for those movies. I think I've only ever seen parts of the one with the cat. The Quinn guy. The Quinn guy was in it. The one from Stranger Things, Eddie. How cool would it be to have a segue? What? You stop everybody and there's an actor there with their finger in their mouth telling you to be quiet, and of course somebody won't be quiet, and all of a sudden there's more story. Something comes flying out of the wall, grabs the actor, and goes through the other wall. Can you imagine if they got that gag to work?
And that's something that we kind of hit on earlier with the clue that we feel like might have been in that description too. That would be crazy if they were able to figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, because I mean, that actor would be exhausted all night long, being like Constantine pulled through the wall. But
they'd have to reset that wall every time.
Every time, so they couldn't like slam groups back to back. You have to have the proper space, or you only reset it like every other one. Otherwise, you already know what's coming.
Sick though.
It would be pretty cool. That's a really cool idea. Oh, so the J. Michael Show says, make a movie where the aliens win in the end.
See,
that was kind of like that episode we watched.
That happened here, honestly.
Yeah, the way that we're going. Distorted Realities agrees that Poltergeist was creepy. Remember, everybody, that is based on a true story.
They're here.
I did the episode on it. It's back like 2 seasons. I did the couple ones: The Birds, Poltergeist, and Jeepers Creepers, I think.
There you go.
I mean, Jeepers Creepers is super loose, but technically
still you know.
Rachel says Poltergeist is wild. Everyone's afraid of that movie.
No, I think with Poltergeist and those kind of movies, it's you sit in front of a TV all the time. We sit in front of a computer screen, so it's hard to not, you know.
I wonder if they would meld alien scare content with a TV. Like if The Ring, Poltergeist, and Aliens had a baby, like they come through.
And instead of coming down, they just come straight through.
Straight through, yeah. I mean,
you know, remember, I want to say this was either Nightmare 1 or 2, but she's on the phone with her boyfriend, and then Freddy's on the phone, and then he attacks her through the phone, like his tongue comes out the phone.
Oh, yes, the tongue.
The scene is wild, but that's kind of something.
I think that's like the second one, maybe the third one.
It might have been Nightmare 2 was hilarious. Probably Nightmare 2. But like that would be crazy though if you know you get on the phone. What if we got on the phone and
they just come right through? Yeah. Because if they can pop in and out through space and time, and you know, take you through space and time, like coming through a signal of a television, like can they basically, it's Star Trek where they just like dissolve and show up in another space.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's possible. I don't think I've seen a movie where they have done that though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'd be curious if they would do that. We've got some more comments coming through here. Distorted Reality says, or what if the aliens is in the same place but in a different timeline and just switches to the one that you're in? Oh, like a walk through time of abductions.
That'd be cool.
Ooh, I would love that one. Because you could, they always do big groups. If they had like a group of 5 or 6, if you had a car, like their car, like a 59 Plymouth or whatever, and you get in it and the car, like you see the light, the car starts shaking, like feel the whole experience.
It
That'd be interesting.
shows you being pulled, pulled in that direction a little bit.
Yeah. And then you have to get out of the car to go to the next, because you can just pretend like they're flying.
Right.
Let's see. Ghost Dog, I have to read these because this is going to be audio for later. So Ghost Dog says, yes, it doesn't have to be every time, because sometimes you could make a noise in a quiet place and they don't hear you. Maybe every 7th or 8th one. So that's kind of where you don't have to reset it every time. I wish they wouldn't do so many groups so slam packed next to one another, because you're going to lose the mojo.
I totally agree. Space out.
Even as haunt, like I like to go to haunts. I like to, that kind of thing. If you can see and hear what's happening, you're going to lose the illusion completely.
If you hear,
you're always going to hear screams.
Scared, yeah. I love to go to like a Tuesday night where they'll send a group in and make you wait 5 or 6 minutes before you go.
Yeah. Another comment, Distorted Reality says, an echo paradox. I say this because there is a myth that there are 6 versions of you, and what if the alien is you and is collecting all other versions?
Right. That'd be cool.
That could go with the fact of what you said, so that same paradox you could bring into the reality of now of this, where that first time you see them in the driveway, they're young, they're a kid. And then the next room is the progression of the alien is you, and you are the alien. You see your other self. Yeah. Now I really need to know how this room is going. This is I need to know how they're going to build it. Oh, we have one. I think this is probably our last one here. Ghost Dog says, I need Harry from Resident Alien. Great show if you guys haven't watched it. Walking through the alien haunted house telling jokes. That would be great.
That would.
Have you seen Resident Alien?
Yeah.
With Tudyk? Oh my gosh, he's so good. So I guess I know I've kept you here, but I just want to get our final thoughts now that we've talked about it. Do you think they really can pull this off and be legit, not just gore?
I think they can pull it off. But to be completely honest with you, as excited as I am, I think we have one house left to be announced, maybe 2. With everything that we have so much, Sinners, I'm very excited for, but this one takes the cake for me. What I'm worried about is the fact that they emphasize the gore as much as they did. And that does kind of worry me a little bit, because I like we said, we don't need to be overbearing with it.
Yeah.
So that does
lean into the creepy parts. Another comment says using the black-eyed children effect, like using that's scary. You get a little, even people that are more petite, you can play down how old they are and have the simple sclera contacts. Just drive it home. Make it creepy.
I think they can pull it off. I think the more extensive research that they can do and, kind of tap into these stories that we talked about, I think that will put them on a much better path.
I think so too. That's kind of my thought on it, is I'm worried that they're going to be lazy and do a lot of animatronics and rooms that are just sculpted and try and do sensory things.
Right.
Because that's what I've seen. I have not seen them in person, but I've seen a lot of the rooms, and they're not gonna really go all the way.
Right.
All the way. If you're gonna push the envelope, push the envelope.
Let's do it. Yeah, this needs to be very actor driven, even down to the aliens themselves. The more actors, the better.
Yeah, because nowadays with the silicone masks and everything, you don't have to be putting appliances on them every night. Just like what I've seen. The mask just goes right on, and once you start getting sweaty, it just kind of becomes part of you.
Oh yeah, that's you at that point.
Yeah, that's all they kind of really need to do.
Happens.
Well, I'm stoked to see how this turns out. I hope that they do, because is it Universal Studios?
Yeah,
they're the ones that they put it on. Yep. So they literally have they have bottomless pockets. Yeah, they can do anything.
There is no budget concern.
Yeah, even if they say there is no budget. But I want to thank you so much for coming on and
It's always a blast to hop on. Always
dive into the nitty gritty here about aliens and HHN, because we know that it is a constant chase your tail, chase the lore, chase what they're going to do. You guys are always speculating. Anybody who's listening and you want to check out what Nick does over at Dead Man's Mic podcast, can you just give a quick run through of what you do so that they know?
Dead Man's Mic podcast is run by myself and Craig. If you guys go check out an episode, you will hear him as well. And basically what our podcast is about is all things Halloween Horror Nights, but we are branching out and also covering any kind of theme park haunt event that we can get information on. We like to speculate about the different properties that Universal will bring to the event and kind of dive deep into every haunted house and give our takes. And during the season, because it actually starts at the end of next month and runs to the end of November, we'll be doing episodes and talking about our experiences walking through things that we think could improve, hype lists, what we're excited for, what we're not, etc. So Dead Man's Mic Pod, just like it is next to my name. If you're watching the video here, just search that. Follow us on all platforms. And
I always put your information too down in the show notes. If you guys are listening to this on audio, I'll make sure that I do send a link there at the bottom. You guys are both audio and video, correct?
Correct.
Yep. So I'll make sure that's in the show notes because this will be an audio podcast as well. For more creepy content, make sure you go to creepyconfidential.com. You can check out all the past episodes. You can check out the live streams from this year. If you're interested in watching some more of this After Dark action, because Nick has been here a few times, including a finale, an episode where we reacted, and an episode where we had Toxic Icon on. So he's a friend of the Creepy Confidential. So that you can go to YouTube and go to our lives. They're all available there for just watching, viewing pleasure. Thank you again, Nick, for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
And I look forward to hearing your feedback.
Yes. A lot of notes will be taken on this one.
A lot of them. Perfect. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll catch you right here on Creepy Confidential. Bye, guys.
See y'all later.